Hey guys, it's Ryan with My Listing Club. Today I wanted to do a video to go along with a guide that I just published on the club website this morning. And it has to do with unlocking the ability to do custom taxonomy searches within the My Listing Quick Search bar. So out of the box, this isn't possible without adjusting the code slightly, which we're going to cover here in this video. Okay, so we're just going to run through this guide together here in real time. I've already done the steps to put this in place, but we'll run through all of them. Okay, so I'm going to just drag that to guide to my other screen here. Here I am on the My Listing Club sandbox, the testing site for my listing. And what we're talking about here is this quick search bar up in the top in our header section of a My Listing website, if you happen to have that implemented. So I know my custom taxonomy is called test. Okay, so if I do a search in here for test, we don't see that custom taxonomy come up in there. So that's what we're going to work on today, is getting that to happen. And I'm actually just going to leave this open like this so you can see it. I'm going to do a new tab so you can see the difference of what happens. Okay, so jumping back into the back end of the site, like I said, under listings and taxonomies, I've got the custom taxonomy called test. If I go into test, I've got one term in there, test one, under that custom taxonomy. Okay, so step one of the guide is to, let me show you this here. Step one of the guide is to go and grab code snippet one. So if you go to this page that I linked to, code snippet one is identified here. You're just going to copy it to your clipboard, and you're going to drop that into your website. I recommend using WP Codebox, which I already have installed. So under Tools, WP Codebox. The club has a guide and a discount for using WP Codebox. It's a very inexpensive plugin. It's just a really awesome plugin, and because you're on you're doing my listing sites, you will actually have access to the repository. So this is kind of just a side note here. But you'll see here I've added a bunch of code snippets to the repository for us My Listing users. Okay, so that's pretty cool. I'll upload these snippets at some point that are part of this video. Anyway, just a little sidebar there. But I've already added the code snippet into WP Codebox. So that's this guy right here. So as we see, it's got the name of my custom taxonomy, test. And you can have multiple taxonomies in there, not a problem. And the code snippets walk you through how to do that, as far as especially if you have multiple custom taxonomies, you can easily add those into your little snippet here. So I've got the snippet there and I've got it saved. Now I'm just going to enable it in WP Codebox. So that satisfies step number one of the guide. Step number two is to grab code snippet 2 and just put it in, keep it in your clipboard, saved there. And then using an application like FileZilla for FTP, you connect to your website. It's a free app. Highly recommend it. You can also use a plugin like File Manager if you want to do all this right from your WordPress website. I recommend FTP all day long, because if something goes wrong as far as syntax or whatever, FTP will always allow you to get into your site and fix it. So in short, if you break something on the WordPress side with some syntax, you might not be able to get into your website, or it's going to take you some time. So all that time your site could be down while you're trying to fix it. So highly recommend FTP and FileZilla. So now that we're in here, on the right hand side, I've already connected to my website, and we're just looking at the WordPress files. So what we want to do is go into WP Content, and then Themes, and then go to the My Listing theme directory, and then go to the Includes folder, the SRC folder, Queries folder. And this is the file that we're working with today. You just want to drag that down to your local workstation. We're going to edit that file. And as the instructions say, we are starting with line 76. So if we scroll down, we've got line 76. Well, I can adjust that, but it's close enough. But basically, what you want to do is you just want to drop it in right before this line here that starts talking about showing the regions. So just go up a couple lines there, and then paste in that code snippet. And then, as I say here, code snippet is below this line. Remove this line and above. So you just take this out. Okay. And that's all there is to that. And then we're just gonna save this file. Okay, so now we've got the file ready to place into our child theme. And if we just keep going back a few levels, get back to the theme files. And then now we go into the child theme side of things. And the reason you want to put it into the child theme is so when updates come out to the MyListing theme, we don't lose these changes that we just made. So now we're going into the child theme. We want to recreate that same exact folder structure that we went through in the parent theme. So that's this structure right here. Includes /src/queries. And you're just going to take this modified file and drag it over. Okay? Well, I've already taken care of that. So we don't need to do that again. So let's go ahead and jump back over to our site, and we'll give this a shot here. So I'm just going to enter test, the name test, and there we go. So now test is our custom taxonomy, and then this is our term under that. Okay. So now in real time, let's just give this a go with adding another custom taxonomy. Okay, so let's go back into, real quickly, so flipping back, you can see the difference here. So test is in here, whereas with this one, it's not. So that was the difference I wanted you to see. All right, let's go back into the back end here. Let's drop in another taxonomy. So let's add a comma to that, quotations, and we'll do test 2. We will save that snippet in WP code box. All right, that is saved. Now we're going to jump over to our taxonomies, and let's create that other taxonomy. So we're going to name it test 2. And save. We'll go ahead and jump over to the test 2 custom taxonomy and add a term. So let's call it test 2A. Let's edit our one listing on here. And actually, we got to first edit the listing type. So we edit our listing type, and we're going to add that other field, so the test 2 taxonomy field, and save that listing type. Now let's go edit our listing that's associated with it. And we are going to assign that one term to so now we've got both of those in there, both of our custom taxonomies. We're going to save our listing. All right, so now let's go ahead and test here on the front end. Let's start entering the word test. There we go. So now we see both of our custom taxonomies are showing in here. All right. Hope you found this video useful or find it useful, and I'll talk to you all later. See ya.